Be sure to subscribe for more content.
What is up, ladies and gents? Welcome to the BigBC Finance Channel, and I hope you're having a very lovely day today. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about Luna Classic, what has happened to it recently, and where we predict the price to go to in the near future, as well as some key price levels and some trades I'm looking to make. Sure, be sure to stay tuned for all of that. And of course, if you appreciate this daily analysis on this channel, do not forget to hit the subscribe button. So without further ado, let's get those annotations back on the screen and let's see what we are seeing here on Luna Classic. And things are looking fairly critical right now on Luna Classic. Things are very close to a make or break point on the Luna Classic price. Can we keep this uptrend here going in this upwards direction on Luna Classic, or are we going to find a new trend going in the downwards direction? So those are really the two things that I'm looking at right now. Can we keep this price trend going up in this channel like this, bound by this purple line and this yellow line that we have here, which forms the resistance and the support respectively, or are we destined to head into a direction that looks a bit like this? So we're going to be analyzing some indicators today, we're going to be analyzing some chart patterns, and we're going to be looking at the broader crypto market to see what is happening there as well, to give us the answers to this question. So first and foremost, what do we see happening on the charts right now? Well, given the indicators that I've shown you were very important last time, we are so close to this 100-hour moving average. In fact, we've kind of come across it down, we've kind of crossed down below it a few times, but thankfully there's a lot of buyer support. So when the price came down below this trend line as well and below this 100-hour moving average, we can see the volume came up here, which is a good thing, meaning that, buyers saw it as an opportunity to basically buy the dip, and we saw the price shoot up in the way that it did. Obviously, it took us from 23.5 cents to 25.5 cents, and now we're back down at this level right by this trend line that we have here and just below this 100-hour moving average. Thankfully, we've come up again, but of course, it really does look like it's starting to consolidate dangerously close to where our moving average is and where our trend line is. So, if you watch my previous videos, you'll know that this trend line is crucial for us to hold this bullish trend that we've got up, and in order to hit our 30 cents target that we have on Luna Classic. And of course, this trend line wants to be held up as well, because of course, if I just show you how many times now this trend line has been tested, we've got a nice test down there. We've got 2 or 3 tests in this region here, depending on how you look at it, but we've got 2 areas in this region where it's been tested, so we can say that that's. And we've got this area where the price has been tested. It's come down, but it's quite nice to see that the price has shot up very quickly. So, we've come below this trend line, but within the same hour, we've shot straight back up once again. So that's a good sign in the sense that this trend line will be respected. And we've got this one here now. So 5 tests of this support. Now, so we've got a very reliable support here. And since the price is above this trend line and generally keeping above this 100-hour moving average, I'm bullish on Luna Classic. Although, if we cannot hold this support line, if this support gives way and the price comes down below it and we spend too long there, so on the 1 hour chart at the moment, if we see at least 2 or 3 candles below this trend line, this yellow line that we have here, then that to me is a break of this uptrend that we are seeing. Of course, that doesn't immediately mean that I'm bearish. It just means that we're going to be following a new trend, and this trend could be something more sideways, so like this for example, but it also could indicate a trend that looks like this. So we're going to keep an eye out for trend lines that appear up if we do break below this yellow line here. But at the moment, I'm still bullish because we are above this yellow line. Although if you look on the 1 hour chart right now, there seems to be quite a bit of volatility coming in, and this trend line could be challenged within the hour. So right now, I'm still looking for the price to go up. Of course, my first pattern that I'm looking at is this. So I want to show you this kind of area. Now, my next main level that I'm really looking at here is this 25.5 cents level. And this is not a level to be messed with whatsoever, because if I put a horizontal line right at the tippy top of where the price got to yesterday on Luna Classic, we can see that this level is super resilient here on Luna Classic. In fact, let me just get those ticks up. We have that 1 tick there where the price is a resistance. We've got this area here where it's a general resistance there. We've got 2 areas here where it's pretty much a perfect support. This was on the way down, if you remember, with that inflation data that came out. And going back in time more, we can see that it was a test here. We have 2 tests in this region here, and we have an area where the price is consolidated. So this line is not to be messed with. Plenty of times where this line has been tested as a resistance and as a support. So super critical level here on Luna Classic. And of course, when we have a horizontal line like this, and we've got this bullish support that we have here, then we have a triangle formation. And this is what I think we're seeing in the near future. I think we're going to be seeing something like this, where the price starts to consolidate in a region like this. And of course, both trend lines are very strong. We've got the support that, as you saw, had been tested at least 5 times. We've got this 25.5 cents level, which has been tested multiple times here. So 2 very strong lines of support and resistance, and one of them is going to have to give way. So I do think we could see a point where the price will make its mind up, and this distance here is going to be, and this decision here is going to be make or break for Luna Classic. Of course, if we can break above this 25.5 cents region, then this to me signals that we're going to go much higher towards that 30 cents region. Of course, the price target misses just short of it at around 29.3 cents. Again, a major level here on Luna Classic. But if we do lose this support here, this yellow line, and this triangle is respected, and obviously that's a massive if, because chart pattern is never perfect, but if it is respected and we do see a breakdown below this yellow line, then the bearish case scenario is 21 cents there. Of course, a breakdown does happen, then I expect to see massive resistance, a good support at this level here at 22.4 cents. So if we do break down below this yellow line, I do expect there to be a lot of buyers at this level. So my first trade will be to place a limit buy order at this 22.4 cents level, because I do think if the price comes down to that, we should see a nice healthy rebound on Luna Classic, or at least a retracement before going down further. So that's one. So that's a limit buy order that I have at 22.4 cents. If the price ever gets down to there, I do think it will bounce back up. So that should be a nice trade for anyone with a buy order at that region. And of course, on top of that, I'm looking at this triangle here. So I'm looking at whether the triangle breaks up to the upside or the downside, or if it's even respected at all. Of course, for it to be respected, we want to see a lot of volume and a lot of momentum when the price breaks out. So that is large green or red candles and an increase in volume down here with this volume indicator that you can see. So that's the first thing I'm looking at. Of course, on top of any chart patterns that I'm seeing, I'm looking at indicators as well. And of course, we can look at the rate of change. I like this indicator here because we can draw trend lines on this indicator that we can marry up with the trend lines on the actual price. On the rate of change here, I'm looking at a trend line that looks like this. And of course, the premise of this trend line is that if the price breaks below this trend line up here, it will also break below this trend line down here on the rate of change. And not only do we have one trend line break, we have 2 trend line breaks for Luna Classic. And this would add weight in the sense that we're no longer in this bullish trend that we've been seeing over the past few days. So I'm looking at the rate of change. I'm looking at this flat trend line that we've got that is kind of the support on the rate of change here. If we can keep above this trend line on the rate of change as well as on the price here, then this should generally be bullish for Luna Classic. And we should see that 30 cents region in the coming future. And with the RSI and the MACD, I'm starting to see some weaknesses on the 1 hour chart. It does look like we could be seeing some sort of divergence. So, if we just connect this peak here to this peak here, for example, then, and we connect the same peaks on the MACD and the RSI, we see that on the MACD and the RSI, the peaks are descending here, but they're ascending on the actual price. So this is a negative divergence. This is a signal that we could be seeing a more downwards trend in the near future. And this is something that's coming up on the 1 hour chart, this negative divergence. If we look on a smaller time frame, the 15-minute chart, it does look like that it isn't so bad. On the RSI, we are seeing this divergence in the downhill direction as the line still marries the peaks quite well. But on the MACD, it's kind of invalidated there. So it looks like the MACD missed this momentum on the 1 hour chart, but the RSI is still showing it on the 15-minute chart. So this is something I'm keeping my eye on. There is some sort of divergence. Of course, this doesn't tell us for definite that we're going in a different trend in the near future, but it's something I'm really keeping my eye on. So for me, again, the confirmation is a trend line break to the downsides of this yellow line here, and that rate of change trend line break that we saw earlier as well. So 2 things I'm keeping my eye on for right now. And of course, this 100-hour moving average, if we fall too far below that, then again, that is another confirmation for me. So indicators are showing some sort of negative divergence. We're close to our support line here. And of course, we could be seeing that triangle that could either take us higher or take us lower. So finally, I want to take us to what Bitcoin and what the whole crypto market is doing. And again, we're seeing some sort of weakness here on Bitcoin. And of course, on Bitcoin, it looks like we're retracing at the moment. We're right below this 0.5 fib here on Bitcoin on the 1 hour chart. And that fib was 20,100. We've come down below, we've shot back above it, and now we're finding it as a support again. It looks like we could be breaking a little bit lower. So things not looking too great on Bitcoin here. We've seen a 50% retracement of that pump already. And again, on the S&P, we can see that we are starting to see a retracement. Now, if you saw my trading view last night, I predicted that we could be seeing some sort of falling wedge here, and a falling wedge is a bullish thing. So of course, if we are seeing a falling wedge, we should expect a breakout to the upside, and a breakout to the upside will mean that the price would head to around $390. Now, I've taken that price target from the first test of the support and resistance, which is up here between this 381 level and this 387 level. So if we break out to the upside, we should see near $390 on the S&P. And of course, if the S&P does that, which is a proxy for the whole stock market there, then we should see similar price action on Bitcoin. Of course, I don't really see a falling wedge happening on Bitcoin. The closest thing to one would be something that looks like this, but if the stock market is printing a falling wedge and we do see a pump in the stock market over the next week, for example, then we should see Bitcoin follow. And indeed, we could actually see a falling wedge where the price of Bitcoin hits low 21,000s up here. So this is something I'm also monitoring as well, what the stock market is doing. And this is like this is the clearest pattern that I'm seeing happening right now. Of course, things aren't looking too great there either, because we've had some big companies report very bad earnings. So we've had Facebook report really bad earnings, kind of bringing the whole stock market down. Next, we've had Amazon to report fairly bad earnings as well. So, you know, these mega companies reporting bad earnings, they're dropping 10, 15, 20% in the pre-markets today. So of course, it's going to bring the whole stock market down. So really just looking at what's happening over there. Of course, technically speaking, we should be seeing a falling wedge that looks like this, which is a very bullish thing. And of course, if we do complete this pattern, we should see Bitcoin go up and we should see Luna continue its bullish trend here as well. So in summary, I do still think we could be seeing this bear market rally. My ultimate price target was still 410 up here on the S&P. Of course, there's some key events that we've got going on in the near future as well. We've got an interest rate decision on November the 2nd, which will add a lot of volatility to the stock market and to cryptos. We've obviously got loads of earnings of big companies coming out as well. So, you know, if all those earnings are bad, then this bear market rally will probably not happen. And of course, if the bear market rally stops and the S&P goes back down again, then we're going to see that on Bitcoin get back down to the 19,000s and 18,000s. And of course, we've got a general bearish bias here, which will probably influence what Luna Classic does, and we probably see a downtrend if that were the case. But if we can continue our bear market rally in the stocks, we can see the price continue to go up. Of course, I've shown you the chart patterns that I'm looking for. So this region that is sandwiched between 25.5 cents here and the price at the moment, and I'm looking for a breakout on the upside, which should take us to 28.29 cents here, or a breakout to the downside, which will take us to at least 22.5 cents, with the ultimate price target being closer to 21 cents down here. So of course, I'll update everything on my trading view as well. If I do make a trade on the Luna Classic, I will post it on my trading view, so be sure to follow me on there. The link for it is in the description below. But otherwise, guys, that's pretty much all I have to say on Luna Classic. It's a tense moment for us at the moment because we're very close to this yellow line. We're very close to this 100-hour moving average at the moment. So if we do break below, I will update my trading view just to say that as well, and that we're no longer in this bullish trend that I've drawn here. So that's all I have to say. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next video.